Your Pi balance might be worthless, and I need you to hear this before it's too late. Look, Pi network is dying, Google searches are crashing, YouTube views are tanking, and pioneers are losing hope every single day. But here's why you need to stay for the next few minutes. I'm going to answer the 3 questions keeping you up at night. Is GCV $314,159 actually possible? What's really happening with Open Mainnet, and should you keep holding or just walk away? If you've got Pi coins sitting in your wallet, wondering if you wasted months of your life, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Quick thing before we dive deep. YouTube is cool, but the real conversations happen in my Telegram and Facebook groups. Breaking news, honest discussions, no sugarcoating. The links are in the description below. Join us right now so you don't get blindsided when major news drops. Trust me, you'll thank yourself later. Now, let's talk about the uncomfortable truth. You know what? The GCV $314,159 dream is brilliant marketing, but it's also setting millions up for heartbreak. Global consensus value sounds official and mathematical, even referencing the famous constant pi. Clever, right? The problem is, it's not grounded in real-world economics. Just because a group of people agree that pi should be worth $314,159 doesn't mean the rest of the world will accept or trade it at that value. Markets don't run on belief alone, they depend on demand, liquidity, and utility. Without those, even the most convincing narrative can collapse overnight. Now think about what that number really means. If Pi were valued at $314,159 and millions of users held thousands of coins each, we'd be talking about a market capitalization larger than some of the world's biggest economies. That's not an exaggeration, it's simple math. To reach that level, Pi would need trillions of dollars flowing into it, which isn't realistic for a project that hasn't even opened to public trading. These inflated expectations create a dangerous illusion that can lead to massive disappointment once reality hits. When Open Mainnet finally launches and Pi enters real exchanges, people will face a harsh truth. The price will be determined not by hope or community agreement, but by what buyers are actually willing to pay. And when that number turns out to be far lower than the dream everyone's been holding on to, many pioneers will feel betrayed or disillusioned. I'm not saying this to discourage anyone. I'm saying it to keep you grounded. Understanding the difference between hype and economics is the best way to protect yourself and make smarter decisions in the long run. Everyone compares Pi to Bitcoin, talking about Dr. Nicholas Kakalis like he's the next Satoshi. But you know what actually made early Bitcoin investors rich? Strategy, not luck. They educated themselves deeply about the technology. They used dollar cost averaging, buying small amounts consistently. They secured their coins properly in hardware wallets. They held through brutal crashes without panic selling, and they took profits strategically. Whether Pi succeeds or fails, this blueprint separates winners from losers in crypto. The question is whether Pi will even give us the chance to use it. Let's compare Pi to Bitcoin honestly. Bitcoin is fully decentralized with 15 years of proven history, trading on hundreds of exchanges worldwide. Companies and countries hold it as a reserve asset. Pi? The core team controls everything. They can change rules, delay indefinitely, modify anything. That's centralization risk. Bitcoin has real liquidity and proven value. Pi has basically zero real trading history. You know what this means? Bitcoin is volatile but proven. Pi is an unproven experiment with millions of hopeful participants but zero guarantees. We're not comparing the same thing at all. Let's talk about what could go wrong, because hoping without understanding risks is just gambling. First, Pi might never be worth real money. Your balance is just a number in a database until open exchanges with real buyers exist. Second, centralization means the core team controls everything and governments can target it easily. Third, you handed over personal identity documents for KYC. Data breaches happen constantly. That's not a small risk. Finally, building a secure, scalable blockchain with a real economy is incredibly hard. Most projects fail. Hype and user numbers mean nothing if the technology or economic model doesn't work. You know what? 2 scenarios are possible. Best case, Open Mainnet launches smoothly, major exchanges list Pi, the app ecosystem takes off with real utility, and price stabilizes somewhere meaningful. Maybe not $314,159, but enough to reward early adopters. Pi becomes legitimate. Worst case, more delays, weak exchange interest, price opens extremely low, millions rush to sell, price crashes to cents, Apps never materialize, interest dies. Pi becomes a cautionary tale. Both are genuinely possible. Anyone telling you they know for sure is lying. So what should you do? First, stay skeptical and realistic. The GCV $314,159 figure is not a promise. It's marketing. Real value doesn't come from hype or community agreement. It comes from a functioning network, real-world adoption, and open, transparent trading. Until Pi is officially listed on recognized exchanges where real buyers and sellers can set the price, everything remains speculation. You can believe in the project, but blind faith without proof is risky. The crypto space is full of bold claims that never materialized, so keeping a level head is your best defense. If you're still mining, that's fine. It costs you almost nothing and keeps you connected to the network. But remember, mining doesn't guarantee future wealth. It's simply participation in an experiment that might or might not pay off. What you do is spend money or trade your personal information on unofficial platforms claiming to sell Pi or offer faster verification. These markets are full of scams, and once your data or funds are gone, there's no getting them back. Protect your privacy and your assets by sticking strictly to official sources and verified announcements. Ultimately, patience and caution are your greatest tools. The moment legitimate exchanges start listing Pi, we'll all finally see its true market value, not the imagined one. Until then, treat your balance as a potential bonus, not a retirement plan. Stay informed, question everything, and avoid emotional decisions based on hype. If Pi turns out to be successful, you'll be ready to benefit wisely. If not, you'll be grateful you didn't overcommit. That's how smart pioneers navigate uncertain territory. With hope in one hand and caution in the other. My completely honest opinion. I respect Pi's accessibility approach. The community is massive, but the delays are concerning, centralization is concerning, and the expectation gap is deeply concerning. I think Pi will eventually launch, but the price will disappoint most people. Not because Pi is worthless, but because expectations are inflated. I wouldn't be surprised to see 10 cents to $5 at launch, maybe less. For people expecting $314, $159, or even $100, that'll feel crushing. My advice? Keep mining if you want, it costs nothing, but manage expectations aggressively. Don't plan your financial future around Pi. Don't make major life decisions. Treat it like a lottery ticket with better odds, but still a gamble. If it succeeds, fantastic bonus. But don't count on it, and don't wait for it. If this helped you, smash that like button. Comment your honest thoughts. Subscribe for updates when major news breaks. Join my Telegram and Facebook in the description for daily real conversations. Stay informed, stay skeptical, stay smart, and protect yourself first. Peace.